Tobia is more well studied on the Tobia is more well studied on the New Testament, or gosh, not just the New Testament, but the Bible, and then church history, and then Judaism. He is more well studied than anyone. The average Christian in the pews, or even a pastor. He is so well studied. And he takes issue of the New Testament taking verses out of context. And I think all of us know, because we're taught in church, you don't take verses out of context. I think we all know it's an issue. And so it's interesting that he knows that it hits hard, because you're like, wait, are these New Testament authors twisting the scripture to try to make this guy seem like he is the Messiah? And he knows. It hits deep. You start thinking, oh my goodness, I have deceived, right? But what he doesn't tell you is that Judaism does this all the time. And I'm not talking about taking stuff out of context, but reappropriating passages that were originally intended for someone. They'll take it and reappropriate it towards someone else. I want to give you guys a real cool thing that I have heard about. It is literally the key to answering so many issues and questions we have about the New Testament. And that is the 4 Jewish methods of interpretation invented by Judaism: Pardes, Peshat, Remez, Drash, and Sod. Those are 4 different methods of interpretation by Judaism. But I 100% guarantee you, this is exactly what many of the New Testament authors are doing, especially in Matthew, the book of Hebrews, Paul's letters, when he is applying things to Jesus, when it's just kind of like, whoa, that's not what this passage originally says.
She said that, the Jews invented, these are her words, the Jews invented this method of drash, which means there's pshat, which means the plain meaning of the text. But there's also remez, which kind of means a hint. There's drash, sort of a deeper understanding. Sod is sort of a secret meaning. She, in her words, she considered that this is a Jewish invention, which means it's not legitimate. So what's happening is that her world collapsing. She is saying that Judaism has somehow invented this methodology, which is not legitimate. Well, if that's the case, then why would the Christian Bible engage in some innovation of Judaism? You have to remain consistent. If the rabbis have some sort of authority to interpret text some mysterious way, of secret way, a drashic way, then that's the end, because then the rabbi said that Jesus is the Messiah. Now, it is true that a rabbi at a pulpit could introduce a homily, a deeper understanding of a text, but that homily cannot upend the plain meaning of the text. As it turns out, she has conceded the book of Matthew and the letters of Paul rip verses completely out of context, misappropriate the Jewish scriptures. The pastor will tell you, if you just look at the Old Testament, Jesus is there. But then when we look through the Hebrew Bible, it not only isn't there, but all these proofs are scandalous. This is all chicanery.